Hey there, Steve again with TUA Outdoors, here to talk more about tents. We could go on and on about tents, but today I'm going to be talking a little bit about stakes and some decisions that we can make when we're getting our stakes, and just some things to think about when we're putting our stakes in the ground and taking them out. Cool. So as I'm staking, we talked about that 45-degree angle, making sure that everything's kind of angled out. This here is my door as a part of my vestibule. And you can see I picked a good area, so I don't need to use a whole lot of force. Might just give it a little bit extra here to get in. If I'm having some struggles, I'm gonna readjust because there might be a root or a rock that I might find. So I'm gonna take some time to readjust before I try to force my stake in the ground. All right, so we're pretty well in the ground here. This one I did tie a little string, which makes it nice that I can pull out there. And if you notice here, I got a lot of mud on my stake. So I want to make sure I clean that out before I put it back in my stake bag. So again, that's going to save you some weight if you're backpacking, but it's also going to help protect your gear. So this is our stake bag. So most of the time, your tent's gonna come with its own stakes. Oftentimes, the stakes aren't the best that come with your tent, so some things you might wanna consider are getting some aftermarket stakes. So this particular one here is a model I like. It's the MSR Groundhog. As you can see, it has kind of this different design. This gives it a little bit more stability. I've only ever broken one of these stakes in about 20 years of using them, so highly recommend it. It actually has a reflective string here too, so you don't trip over them in the middle of the night. This here is a DAC light stake, so this one's a little bit lighter weight, still pretty strong. It's an alloy material, so it gives me that lighter weight with pretty good security. And then I'm going to show you, we'll talk about these when we get into some repair videos, but oftentimes you might find that you get a stake bag and it has this little metal cylinder. People are like, what is this thing? This one actually says emergency field splint on it. But what this is actually for your tent pole. So this is for our tent splint. So if you don't follow the techniques that we learned in some of the earlier videos, or if you just take a spill as you're putting your tent away and you have a fracture on your tent pole, you can actually use this as a temporary fix to kind of give it that splint feature. So it just slides right over top. And then you'll actually just take some duct tape or whatever you might have to hold it in place as a temporary repair as you're in the field if you're still using your tent. And then you can, when you get back home, most of your companies will actually do free or repairs for minimal cost. So that's something you can let them know. They'll send you a piece of the pole, just let them know where it broke, and then you can get a whole new replacement part. But I'm gonna show you how to do that in a later video. But just wanted to highlight some of the things that you may get with your new tent and not know what to do with it, or know why you might wanna get different stakes.